Hey. It is Domo and Galarza. I am here with Domo, myself, and Galarza, my associate.
Yes.
Alright, sorry for the wait, y'all. We've been kind of busy. I've been busy with finals. I'm getting my associates soon. I already got my associates, but I'm the graduation ceremony is in a couple days, and my boy here is unemployed. And he's just looking for a job
Or looking for a sugar baby. I don't know.
or sugar mama. You know what I'm saying?
At this point, sugar daddy. I don't know. Shit.
Just get like a sugar daddy. I don't understand the mentality behind sugar daddies. Like, why would you just give someone money? You know,
That could be a whole nother conversation, but
I feel like that's like a weird kink.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Some hot woman's talking to you and you can't get laid. I don't know. It's you know.
Yeah, you gotta go to like a. You got okay. So if you ever take that job at like Applebee's or Outback, a lot of cougars go there, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
So, dude, you might get access to a few sugar mamas.
I'm down.
But sugar mamas and sugar daddies, that's gonna be the topic for another day. Today we're gonna be talking about the most overrated rock bands of all time.
And we were trying to get our personal stuff going, but then it's been so long. We didn't want to go off the cuff, so we were pulling up a couple of the lists for us, and then we put our 2 cents.
But yeah, this is from Green Beans News. Article was written in was written by Edwin Thomas. I believe it was written in 2019.
Okay, it's got like 6 years, so it's probably a little jaded or like maybe a little misconstrued. So if you're seeing, well, if there's like bands like Creed and Nickelback in like the top 10, that's where it's gonna be like,
Yeah, I know.
you know, because at that time they were hating on it, but now it's fucking cool to like them again. So
Oh yeah, because like everyone who grew up listening to them in the 2000s
yeah,
are nostalgic about it.
yeah.
You know, I never thought Nickelback and Creed were that bad. A little bit like generic maybe, but they weren't like horrible.
You know, but when dreaming,
Yeah.
got it too. I fucking love Creed.
But yeah, all right. Number 29 is AC/DC. AC/DC are regarded by many as the greatest hard rock band of them all, but for all their great work up to the hugely successful Back in Black album, the bands became stale somewhat. You'd be hard pressed to make a decent album from all of their songs post 1980.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of AC/DC stuff sounds the same.
They do, but it's so fucking good to me. It's like you don't really care.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is good. Like Hell's Bells, I love Hell's Bells.
Yeah, like when we were talking about with Mo last week, last week we were talking about it, and he just doesn't listen to Brian Johnson, so he only legit has an era of what year did AC/DC come out? Did this say in the article?
Like it doesn't say what come out because I know they came out in the 70s.
Yeah, 75. And then so they probably had like 2-3 albums, maybe 4, but you know.
Yeah, okay, they came out in 73. Their
73.
debut was
73.
oh shit! Most of the stuff's from the 70s. Like Highway to Hell was a 6th studio album.
Holy fuck! They had 6 albums in 2 years. Is Highway at 75?
No, Highway to Hell is 79.
79? Oh, okay. Well, it came out for 75 for him.
Came out 75. High Voltage.
High Voltage, okay. That's what. All right. Damn, 79 has.
Yeah, it only came out in Australia. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see. And then Brian Johnson took over in 1980.
Brian Johnson. Yeah, because Bon Scott passed away. Yeah, man. Who do you think was better, Brian Johnson or Bon Scott?
I like the. Fuck. If you put me on the spot, I'll say probably Brian Johnson. But I do think the actual band itself is better when you have what's the other guy's name? One more time. I'm sorry.
Paul Scott.
I think the band's better with him, but just like I think Brian might be the better singer. I don't know. It's weird because I like the band better, but I think Brian's probably a better singer.
All right, number 28 is Slipknot. I mean, I feel that. I mean, like, okay, when I played the drums, Joey Jordison was one of my favorite drummers, but I'm not gonna be foaming at the mouth for any new like Slipknot albums, you know?
Yeah, no, they've just been around a little too long. And yeah, honestly, like we're at 28 right now, so
28,
I'm more of like getting into like Let's see, like, who they really think about, like, top 5 wise.
Okay, I'm never gonna believe this. Number 27 is Led Zeppelin.
Really? Oh, you can nah. We'll move on. You can't. All right, that was the top.
Never seen
Like
John
top
Bonham.
5, yeah.
Like, dude, Bonzo, man, he was one of the best drummers ever. You cannot.
Dude, that band is legendary.
Oh my God, they say the Sex Pistols is overrated.
Man, you're a big sex.
I'm a huge Sex Pistols guy, dude. Who's Sex Pistols, man? The Beatles.
I could see it. I could see them being overrated, but without them, they're very influential. Like, whatever you want to call them. Like, I don't know if, like, because you know how it is back in the day, like, we're stealing a lot of black music. So if you want to be technical, I don't think they were really stealing as much as, say, like a Elvis. But I don't know. I think with the Beatles, they were very influential guys. They all were fucking very, I can't take, like, you could say they're overrated, but then, like, you can't take away, like, their historic, like, meaning on what music is. You know what I mean? I think that's where, like, the conversation needs to go. Because it's like, you can say they're overrated, this, and this. They got overplayed. They got this, and this. But it's like, without, like, dude, you don't have a lot of these artists, technically, just being real. So,
Number 24, we got Metallica.
yeah, I thought I genuinely have them in my top 5. Just because it's tough for me because, they're just a good band. But I think they've just been a little stale since, like, the 90s.
So, yeah, I feel that too. Like, after the Black album came out,
that's the one with Nothing Else Matters.
Nothing Else Matters.
So that's 90, I think. Yeah, 90, 91. So
I feel like it peaked after that. It's funny because from what I understand, when that album came out, everyone was pissed off because it was a departure from thrash.
Yeah,
but nowadays everyone loves it.
No, it's a great album.
Oh yeah, it is, and I like some of their new stuff after that, but like none of them are like you can't touch.
Go in like Enter Sandman or fucking like For Whom the Bell Tolls.
So like you can't touch like Ride the Lightning. You can't touch that.
It's amazing too.
Number 23, we got Radiohead.
For me, to be real, I was never really a big Radiohead fan. I think they're like, to me, I feel like they're one hit wonder. I know they probably have better songs, but I just never really like listened to them like that. So I don't really want to say they're overrated just because like I always viewed them as a one hit wonder. So that'd be like kind of,
yeah.
What do you think?
But I like some Radiohead songs. I like the song "Karma Police." I like the song.
So not a one hit wonder though, right?
No, they're not a fucking one hit wonder. You kidding? Look what the caption says. Only true Radiohead fans will understand why this band is so highly rated. We haven't a clue. Care to enlighten us? Yeah, that's how you know this list. I feel like if you say something like this,
yeah, you're just a big Radiohead.
Yeah, fan. It's like the Razzies. You know the Razzies? Basically, they make Golden Raspberry Awards. They award quote unquote the worst movies of the year.
Oh, okay.
And they just make up awards. They make up like random awards, like worst screen couple, John Travolta and everyone who he shared the screen with.
Stop it.
Jeez, yeah, that's stupid. That's not funny, guys. Come on,
dude. He was great in that movie. Look who's what's that?
Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
You ever seen Face Off?
Face Off is great.
I love Face Off. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, John Travolta's a good actor, man. Stop fucking with my boy.
Yeah,
he's good. It's just that he had his run of shit movies, which everybody does. So you can't tell me De Niro and Pacino didn't have a fucking run.
He's been in like the worst movies ever, but he's also been in the best movies ever. That's great.
You can't tell me Saturday Night Fever is not one of the greatest fucking films of all time. Like, it's ridiculous.
Grease, I loved it as a kid, but now looking back,
corny. It's a little corny, but I think a lot of like if I'm just gonna be honest and real. Like, I genuinely think like high school movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s are weird because like they cast 35-year-old people and make it look like they're 18, but like an 18-year-old then nah. So like I feel like the casting is better probably now, but it's weird. It's just fucking weird to have like a 35-year-old like unless they look like it, say like a Jason. You remember the brother from Hannah Montana?
Yeah,
like he was like 35, but he's playing like a fucking, So it's like if he looks it, that's different, but.
Yeah, but you had guys that look like Mick Foley playing
Yeah.
Like 14-year-olds. That was like what? That was so fake. Yeah, I know. Like, and like a lot of high school movies, I feel are just fake. I hate high school movies.
Unless they're
because
about
they're fake.
partying.
Unless they're about like remember Superbad?
Yeah.
That's actually how teenagers talk.
Yeah, super bad. I love that. Nah, 40-Year-Old Virgin ain't really a fucking high school movie, but Superbad's amazing.
But yeah,
And As Feuds is great. It's a cult classic more in the sense of like didn't really get like box office success, but it's a fucking great movie.
yeah, and this movie, Bo Burnham made this movie called Eighth Grade.
I like Bo Burnham. He's so fucking.
There was this clip of teenagers talking, and in the movie, that is exactly how teenagers talk in real life. So I appreciate that. Like if you listen to some of these Disney Channel crap, you start to listen to them and
High School Musical.
it's like that's not how teenagers talk.
Nostalgic wise, High School Musical is great, but it's one of those like annoying ones you got to talk about. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's the next pick?
Next pick is Linkin Park.
At 21, 22. Okay.
Much like the grunge, the new metal,
New metal.
new metal fad came and went. But the leading album in the new metal phase, we could argue, was Hybrid Theory, and the most famous song was probably Numb. The most famous song.
Their most favorite song is probably Numb, but it's not on Hybrid Theory.
Not Hybrid
It's on Meteor.
Some Meteor. The problem is Linkin Park were genuinely relevant.
Like their first two albums, they killed it. So like it's hard to like stay. The only place you really have to be is like at the same place or go down.
Yeah.
So I understand if people think they're overrated. It's just that they came out fucking firing all cylinders. Those first two albums are some of the greatest fucking first two albums for a new metal band. So, the only way they could have been better if they fucking upped it. But how you gonna up when those first two albums are your first two? So
Yeah. Next we got Guns N' Roses.
I see that.
I hate the caption. It's like the 15-year wait for an album, the storming off stage, the Titanic ego, and that hair. Guns N' Roses has blown it over the last 2 decades, and what a pity. They could have been one of the true all-time greats. They are.
Yeah, no, like it's so tough. They're like, I don't want to say the Bo Jackson of like rock and roll, but like they came in fucking guns blazing, killed fucking hair metal, but then fucking grunge came along and killed them.
Yeah.
So like they had they first came out in 87. They probably like all their good shit ended like 93, 94. So they had a good 6-year run, but like you're not gonna kill fucking grunge. Like because grunge came out in 91 and then they were slowly getting and then boom. So
yeah. All right, number 20, we got Nickelback.
At 20, all right, good. They're not hating on Nickelback.
All right, yeah. I feel like this comes off as one of those websites that likes to shit on Nickelback.
Yeah, it seems like, but.
All right, Nickelback seems to be one of the most vastly overrated bands that we often see hogging the charts. The thing is, they don't actually have much talent, and most of their songs are painfully and predictably wet. What do you mean by wet?
The fuck does that mean?
Dude, if you can sell out arenas all over the country, you got talent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Kroger's the shit.
All right, number 19, we got Oasis.
All right. Another band I always thought was a fucking one-hit wonder, but they're not. Because sometimes, like, if I don't really listen to them, I just always know the one big hit, and then it's like, you're a fucking asshole. So, but they have more hits than Wonderwall, but didn't really partake in listening to Oasis like that. So.
Oh yeah, and I know a few songs, but I feel like they're just the Wonderwall band.
Right. So, like, you agree with me then?
Yeah.
On that. All right. Not that I'm going to go out of my way to, like, listen. And plus, British band during that time of, they had a couple big hits. They had Wonderwall was fucking great, but,
All right. Next, we got The Doors.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. I
17?
Yeah. No, number 18.
18. Okay.
Yeah, I like, for example, the song Light My Fire.
Great.
I feel like people tolerate that song at best. Yeah, I don't know. I like but remember that movie Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I'm Vietnamese. I have to know it because it's about the Vietnam War.
Oh,
but basically, like in the first act, the song was like, "This is the end." Beautiful Friend, and that was by The Doors. So that was
Jim
a good song.
Morrison's fucking great. Yeah. Another member of the 27 Club, Nate.
Yeah, I remember the 27 Clubs. I feel like most amazing artists were heroin addicts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 17, we got Dio.
Dio.
Yeah.
Like Ronnie James Dio?
Ronnie James Dio, man. Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck?
How's that?
I like the song Holy Diver. I don't really know much about them other than that.
No, Dio is great. I don't know about, like, they have Rainbow in the Dark, right?
Rainbow
There's a rainbow in the dark. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they have that. That's a good fucking tune.
Yeah. I only know Holy Diver.
Okay.
Number 16, I do kind of agree with them. I don't like them at all. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You don't like them at all?
Not really.
Really? Nah, I fuck with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That type of music is just like, it just give you a sign to bop to, and
this will be something that you'll definitely have something to say on. Number 15 is Bon Jovi.
I can see it though. I like it. Like, I'm a big Bon Jovi guy, but it's just, I understand why people would think they're overrated. As long as they don't have them in the top 10. Like, they're like the big hair metal band that like made it big, and then John, like, I think Richie Sambora is fucking amazing, and then he gets overlooked just because it's John's band.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it's, I'd love for them to do another tour, but John went, it is what it is.
All right, number 14, we got Motley Crue.
Definitely. They seem like scumbags, though. I feel like they have good music. It's just more of like, I think they're more a little overrated, just in the sense of how they are as human beings.
Well, just what the caption says is like, if you're not into that hair metal thing, there's every chance a band like Motley Crue would rank high on your list of overrated bands. What an absolute mess of a band. Seriously, was this stuff ever actually popular?
Yeah, like no shit was popular.
No shit was popular. Okay,
like dude, like
I don't know. I was like,
there's this guy listen to Jesus.
Yeah, like, what do you listen to? Mozart?
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta listen to Mozart.
Yeah, like Motley Crue had some bops, man. They had some fucking good.
All right, number 13, we got Rolling Stones.
Okay. I don't agree, but
you either love them or you hate them. The Rolling Stones have had a long-standing status as one of rock music's greatest bands, but if you strip down the catalog of songs, you really won't find much there.
Wow.
Sloppy guitar playing coupled with an overindulgent singer pretty much sums up this band.
Wow. Really? So they're higher than the Beatles on this list.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting. I would have felt that the Beatles are more overrated than the Stones, but
yeah, this guy is like probably a failed musician who wrote this. All right, number 12 is Journey.
Nah.
No.
Nah, hell no. I don't think Journey's nah.
Oh shit, there's a button in the room. I don't know if I will deal with that soon.
Yeah, you better.
That was a stink bug.
Let
me pause this real quick.
Give me all your loving.
Pause. Okay, now it's recording. All right, okay, it was paused for a minute. All right, so, but yeah, okay, the stink bug is vanquished. Also got fries. Where were we? We were talking about Journey, right?
Yeah, nah, hell no, dude. They're definitely. You can't tell me they're overrated. That's fucking wild. Just because they're, I think a lot of times people equate overplayed with overrated.
Mm.
Do you think Journey could definitely be overplayed?
Yeah,
but they're not an overrated band. Like, they're fucking insane. Steve Perry's one of the greatest fucking legends of all time, dude. Like, I love Steve Perry.
And this is how you. If fucking says yes, they were good, but not that good.
That's wild. Nah.
Yeah, this guy
sucks.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
Yeah, we have to really see what he has in like
number 11, Van Halen. Okay, so credit where credit is due. Hair Rockers, Van Halen did release one of the best debut rock albums of all time. But you could argue that was their downfall. They never quite backed it up, and some of their material in the 80s was as cheesy as it gets.
That's bullshit.
It's the 80s!
It's the 80s, bro.
Everything was cheesy in the 80s.
And okay, did they say which one's more overrated? Are they talking about Hagar? Are they talking about David Lee Roth?
No, that's
they all break it down. They just said the whole band? Like, nah, fuck off. No, just because they're A. Like, you can't,
I know. Number 10, Iron Maiden.
Ooh.
The greatest British heavy metal band from the lot, possibly. But that doesn't make them immune from this list.
Wow.
Sorry, I got
That's some fries.
fries with me, so I'm chewing a lot. Yes, Iron Maiden are a great band, but there's no doubting that. But they've not actually released anything of real significance since the late 1980s. Living off past success comes to mind.
Wow. You could do that when you're that highly successful.
I know.
And I think like you're not living in the past. You just in the sense of you were that fucking good. You didn't have to put anything else out.
Yeah, I know. And number 9 is Aerosmith. Okay, so Aerosmith were a pretty decent outfit back in the 70s, but what we've seen since is a gradual decline. The 80s wasn't overly bad, but they sold out to the mainstream in the 90s, and it's been seriously downhill since.
It isn't. It is what it is.
All right. You know what number 8 is? Coldplay.
Really? Wow. Coldplay?
Yeah.
Okay. They are a little overplayed, but I don't know.
I think they're fine for what they are.
For what they are, yeah. But like if you're gonna fucking include them on a rock band, like yeah, they're highly overrated.
Yeah. Number 7, I've never heard of these guys. Extreme.
Oh, you don't know? Saying I love you
Not
is what I want to.
Has there ever been a bigger one-hit wonder than Extreme's More Than Words?
Yeah,
we think not.
It's a great fucking song though.
And it still amazes most people how much success they managed to milk from that one single. Ain't that every rock star's dreams? Make one song, then live off that for the rest of their life. She's set for life.
You never seen that video with Jack Black singing that fucking song with Jimmy Fallon?
No.
Dude, how do you not know that fucking song? It's a great tune.
No.
Oh, they're from Boston too.
Oh, yeah?
Good. They didn't say anything in that? Of course not. He's not a Bostonian guy.
I'm a Worcesterian guy.
No, I'm talking about this fuckface writing the thing.
Yeah, this fuckface is writing the thing. This guy who
fucking put it. Okay. But this is where the list is getting stupid. Because, like, how is Extreme going to be like a top 10 band, but then it's like most people's most overrated bands that they feel? Like a Metallica is not in the top 10, but like a fucking band like Extreme. Like, how is like a one-hit wonder band going to be fucking overrated if they're just basically like, why? Because of their success? That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid. I don't know.
All right, number 5, we got...
Six.
Oh, sorry, number 6. We got the White Stripes. I've only ever heard that one song by them, Certain Nation Army. Bien, that one.
Good tone.
Yeah, I'll do that. I don't know much about them. And number 5, I actually do agree with. It's Green Day.
All right, the top 5. Wow. All right, yeah, because we have. I think I had them on my top 5. So
I think we had it in our original list. They're not punk. Okay, they're like complete wusses compared to like, guys like the Sex Pistols. I'm glad this is higher on the list than the Sex Pistols because Sex Pistols is true punk.
No, guys, I think Green Day is one of those bands to where it's like they've fell off, but then they tried to create again. Like, because they had Dookie in 93?
94.
94. And then what year did American Idiot? 10 years?
2004.
So 10 years later, so like if you're a Green Day fan, like you're gonna love them to death. But like if you're giving, like, I think a lot of people, okay, like I'm gonna hate saying this, but I feel a lot of people hate Green Day just because of the fucking graduation song now.
Yeah.
I hope you had the time of your life. And they turn it into a graduation song. So every time someone hears that fucking shit, they just fucking want to kill themselves.
Yeah.
So.
The reason why they kind of fell off is because in 2000 they made this album called Warning. Mm-hmm. And that didn't do too well because it was a new metal era and this was a folk album.
Oh, folk? Oh god.
Folk punk.
Dude, folk punk?
Folk punk, yeah.
During like Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit era, like what the fuck?
I don't know. I just want to experiment, I guess. But American Idiot is one of my favorite albums.
No, it's a great album. No, thank God they went back to it.
Oh yeah, and if that album didn't do well, they would have officially been considered washed up.
Yeah. No, but thank God they did it. What other songs are on that album besides that? On American Idiot.
Jesus Suburbia.
Okay. Is Holiday on that?
Yeah.
Holiday's good.
Whole Lot of Broken Dreams.
Okay.
Are We the Waiting? Saint Jimmy. Give Me Novocaine. She's a Rebel.
How about that one?
Wake me up when September ends.
I mean, they got pops.
Yeah, that is.
They just,
Yeah, it's a beautiful song though.
you know.
Billy Joe is kind of a pussy, I feel.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, but Johnny Ryan is not a pussy.
No.
Billy Joe kind of is. I feel. I'm sorry, Billy Joe, I love you, but renouncing your citizenship is not going to do jack shit.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
That's why you're top 5.
I don't know, and all, I don't. Yeah, that's all I have to say. All right, Soundgarden.
What?
Soundgarden is number 4.
What the fuck? You putting a Chris Cornell-led band? And fucking smoking crack.
There you smoking crap. Let's see what he has to say. In Chris Cornell, it could be argued that Soundgarden have one of the best rock vocalists, certainly of the grunge era, but that's not to say the bad were necessarily that good. Soundgarden did release 2 very good albums, granted, but the rest, not so much.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, nah, like, dude, nah, Chris Cornell is... No, because it's Chris Cornell led. So, if you... So, he gives Cornell the credit of, like, being a great band, but then, like, you're not ridiculing everybody else.
I know.
That's because you led with... The way you criticize a band is you would start off Cornell, and then, nope, everybody else sucks. Mm-hmm. But he didn't do that. He says albums, like Cornell's not behind the fucking albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. And, yeah, this guy, I would love to see what this guy's taste in music is. He's probably got, like, this, everything has to be, like, pitch perfect.
Yeah. He seems like a type of cat like that because, like, Cornell's voice is so fucking amazing. And he probably hears, like, the fuck up of the guitar or the bass, and then he's like, nope, I had to turn it off, even though one of the fucking greatest singers of all time is singing.
Yeah, he's probably one of those guys who only listens to bands when they come out on cassette. he's probably one of those. I only listen to obscure indie music, and on his playlist is Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles.
I love that fucking song.
Yep.
So what do you got at number 3?
All right, number 3, we got U2.
Good. Fuck yeah, dude. I fucking can't stand U2. It's not because they're the bad band, but they're fucking so overrated, man.
Didn't they want to release one of the albums for free? With
Everybody had it.
Oh my god.
First fucking year of Apple Music. Everybody on the fucking planet had fucking U2 album.
That sucks.
No shit.
Number 2, and this is where I can kind of see it, Nirvana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nirvana, a little overrated. Just because of... Not because of Kurt, it's just the era. And they were being in the sense of... They were the lead punk band, but they weren't the best. Mm-hmm. Like, arguably, they're not the best. Because I know Pearl Jam's still around because everybody's alive. Well, Eddie's alive. The band's just fucking pretty thriving. You know, they're still touring. But, you know, with Lane from Alice in Chains and Jerry, like... They had, and even Soundgarden with Chris, like, you had such good fucking bands. Mm-hmm. And then Nirvana was, like, the hand-chosen, like, mainstream choice, I feel. Even though, like, they just wanted to know Kurt. And I think that's where, like, with Kurt was such a fucking anomaly in music in the sense of everybody felt like they knew him, even though the motherfucker was so quiet. Yeah. I think that's what, like, Nirvana, to me, is, like, it's not overrated in the sense of, like, the music. It's overrated in the sense of, like, the reach they had. Mm-hmm. Like, the music's fucking phenomenal. But the reach they had because of the pull that, like, the media had on them. Rather than in the sense of, like, how they truly were. But.
Yeah, and so when it comes to the Big Four, and even, like, Big Five, if you want to include Smashing Pumpkins... Nirvana is not
Temple Pilots over Smashing Pumpkins.
Stone Temple Pilots, all those guys. Yeah. Nirvana was not as good as them. Alice in Chains, I feel, is much better than fucking Nirvana.
Yeah.
I like Pearl Jam is much better than Nirvana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all those. Yeah, Nirvana is like not as good as the other the other
They were the
grunge guys.
mainstream band.
But they were the mainstream, yeah.
Right. So in the sense of like they were just picked, but it doesn't mean like they're not a good band. It's just in the sense of like the way it went down. But like when we weren't alive then, so I don't want to speak on it, but like I feel like they were just from retrospect and the way it looks now, it's just that Kurt Kurt is a fucking cool dude. And he just, everybody felt like they knew him, even though he was so fucking quiet.
Yeah.
So I think that was just a markability there, that everybody's like, all right, let's get this guy going.
Yeah, he was like that aloof dude. And yeah, when we're kind of grunge freaks, we kind of discuss grunge with our uncle, and he grew up during the grunge era, and so we talk about grunge with him. But the first band is a band that we like, but Unc does not. Number one is Kiss, yes sir. There's a guy can feel it. This guy, you can tell that this guy hates everything. So of course he's gonna think Kiss is the most one overrated band ever.
Damn, that's hilarious.
All right,
We gotta hear this.
let's see what Fuckface has to say. All right, well, the most overrated band in history just had to be Kiss, didn't it? Lots of hair, makeup, and lights, but that's really about it. Shut up. You'd be pushed to find a decent track after the 70s material. All action, but such little substance. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's all he feared. Yes. What the fuck? No, dude. I think the thing with Kiss is like if you're a fan, you're a fan.
Yeah, I know.
And then you have legit subgroups within the Kiss army.
Yeah.
That fucking can't stand their music without makeup.
Yeah.
And then and then it's a subgroup like Jericho fucking loves. He's in a band called Quarantine. Mm-hmm. And they cover all the hits of Kiss without the makeup.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fucking good. Like, that's wild. I had a feeling Kiss was going to be number one on the fucking list.
Yeah, I know. This guy is probably the type of guy that thinks, probably put like, Ice Cube as the most overrated rapper of all time.
See, but like, I'm trying to think now. Like, we have to let's look up the discography because I genuinely think they probably have like 2 or 3 more songs in the 80s that it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's Kiss discography, Wikipedia. All right, hold on.
Because just check. So, because 79 was when they had I Was Made for Loving You. That was Dynasty.
All right, yeah, 75 was Dynasty, and 80 was Unmasked. I'm assuming that's when they,
let me take a look. So, Unmasked. Yeah, go back to it. Oh, Dynasty.
I mean, yeah, Dynasty.
Dynasty. Love Gun. Gun.
Destroyer all over. Destroyer.
Destroyer's fucking great. Destroyer has Beth.
Hotter Than Hell. The debut album from 74. That was Strutter. Oh, Strutter, dude. Oh my god.
Strutter's amazing. But then you have, so look at because Dynasty, what's Unmasked?
Unmasked.
Unmasked,
they got Shandi, Talk to Me Tomorrow.
Oh no, none of them.
Is that, alright. I'm assuming Unmasked is when they took off the paint.
Creatures of the Night. I know Creatures of the Night.
Creatures of the Night. What about, alright.
Creatures of the Night was
82.
82.
Wait, when did they take off the paint though?
83.
Oh, okay, that's... My dad doesn't like when they didn't have the paint either.
It's only right now. Nah, I heard that song too many fucking times on the cruise, so... And that one's Animals. Mm-hmm. Or Asylum. Animal says... What year was that? 84? Check it.
Alright.
I hate
Mark Larry Cairns by lead guitarist Mark St. John, who replaced Vinnie Vincent replaced
too many members too. I think like that's another thing. Like I know like Gene and Paul were there, but they had a lot of fucking guys, man.
If you think that Kiss has a lot of guys, you should see the average heavy metal band.
No, I know, but if you really think about it, like when they were big, like I like the original 4. Like I like Peter Criss, but then Eric Carr came in. He's a great drummer, so they just did.
Yeah, my drumming instructor taught me about Eric Carr.
Yeah,
crazy.
These are crazy.
All right, Asani, the Kiss album.
Dude. I really got into Kiss.
So 80s is when they were kind of going in the glam metal direction.
But they were still a decent enough band to like get like hits. Like, is it better than the 70s stuff? I don't think so, but it's just more of the sense of like it's not like they weren't relevant.
Yeah.
Like in an era of where we're talking about, like where fucking some of the greatest music comes from 83 to 87, they were still able to stay fucking relevant. In that era of fucking Van Halen, AC/DC, like they were still able to stay in a lane of, all right, let's make some fucking decent let's make music.
You want to read the comments on the guys on the list?
Please, I want to see what find something about Soundgarden.
Soundgarden?
Yeah, if you can.
All right. Soundgarden. I don't think they don't say.
Wow.
But I'll read you some of the comments.
Yeah, please.
While I do agree with some on the list, others basically have no equal. In particular, if Van Halen, AC/DC, and perhaps Metallica aren't some of the best of all time, then who does this author think he is? You'd be hard-pressed to find a rock band with more hits, perhaps Def Leppard.
Yeah. Def Leppard, we didn't even have Def Leppard on that.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where, like, I felt like Def Leppard's could have been a little more overrated than a lot of the other bands in this. I lost all respect for this guy after he said Extreme at 7.
Yeah, I know.
Like, no, like, dude, you can't fucking put him one.
Oh, or was it this comment? You fucking idiot. Motley Crue is one of my favorite bands.
He probably fucking 45.
You fucking down. Have you ever heard Shout at the Devil or The Dirt? They are fucking bangers.
They are bangers. They are.
You bitch. Have you ever tried not being a virgin?
That's good shit.
In a reply that says, calm down, kid.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, he said.
So you hate bands that white people like?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I did. She's right.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to see this guy's take on, like, hip-hop. Be like,
oh, dude.
NWA is overrated. Wu-Tang is overrated.
If you could find it, we'll, like, just stick with that. Because, dude, that's fucking hilarious. If he has... No, go back to the list, see what other lists he has. Because I want to really see this fucking guy now.
All right.
Then we can just shit on this guy.
Yeah, shit on this guy.
This is brutal.
All right, Edwin Thomas. Yeah, we have beef with Edwin Thomas now. Fuck it.
Yeah, you can't put. I lost all interest in the fucking list once he said that Extreme is a top 10 overrated band.
All right, Edwin.
Because most people aren't gonna assume a one-hit wonder band is gonna be overrated. They're just gonna toss them aside and put them in a one-hit wonder band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That was fucking stupid.
All right, guy. This Edwin Thomas. Fuck. This is like, you don't know what he's talking about. I'm trying to find him on the Green Beans. Hold on, I'm trying to find him. Edwin. It won't let me type in his name.
Yeah, because probably such a shit list. He only did one.
Yeah, probably. He was probably like. Actually, I found. I just looked up Edwin Thomas. Let's see if he's or not. Okay, yeah, never mind. It was like not the author. I saw something by the New York Post.
Oh, miss.
New York Post is tabloidy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy is a snob. Yeah, but
trying to be in the first.
like, dude, have you ever tried?
Is that the same guy that was talking about Motley Crue? Yeah. Oh, dude, that was funny as fuck.
And
to make it to where Motley Crue's the band that makes you a fucking stud is amazing too. Like, you're like, what the fuck?
But yeah, there's one that says, by Anonymous, it says, who made this ridiculous list? Who is the author's favorite rock bands? Gotcha, Goo Goo, and Boy George.
Damn. You say, come on.
You shouldn't allow she's non-binaries making up lists they know nothing about and care obviously nothing about this person shouldn't be allowed to turn off the lights or sweep up a 7-Eleven, and you have them writing articles.
Oh my god. Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, these comments, man. Holy shit.
I disagree with everything you said with the exception of Kiss. They're absolutely talented. Talentless, excuse me.
Oh, okay. I was like, talented. How the fuck you agree?
Yeah.
Oh,
As soon as you said Slipknot, is just noise. Yeah. As soon as you said Slipknot is just noise, I switched off. You know nothing about music.
Yeah.
Your favorite must be Barry Manilow.
I fucking love Barry Manilow, but still like you, yeah. At the Copacabana.
Gary Newman is overrated these days, often called a pioneer and a legend, yet 46 years of forgettable crap, ripping off other acts blatantly and only known in the mainstream for 2 big hits in the UK. The rest of his top 40 chart fodder was down to his small, obsessive cult fan base out of loyalty to his ridiculous images. Newman was never a musician, but a cult leader.
Oh, shit.
When is this guy talking about Gary Newman?
I don't know.
Whatever.
The fuck?
Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, the Beatles, and Metallica on an overrated list. This list was either generated by an AI bot or an AI actual idiot with no soul and $0 in music.
God.
By the way, the asterisk on the list was inadvertently redacted. Publisher's favorite band and album, Milli Vanilli, All or Nothing.
That's funny. He's like, I'm so in love, girl.
Girl, you know it's true. Yeah, it's a shame about Milli Vanilli. They got taken advantage of, I feel.
And they lip sync, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, they lip synced. Yeah, like,
Yeah, that was now everybody does it. So like that's where like I don't know if you're doing it there.
it's like 30 years later, you're gonna be made famous for lip syncing.
Yeah, like dude, it sucks. But you guys actually have fucking talent back then. That was the problem, you know.
I mean, they had some talent. They could dance.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, they could dance. You know, they had a lot of fucking, you know.
All right, you talentless hacks. We're gonna take a break because that guy's comment cracked me up. We're gonna talk when we come back. We're gonna talk about the worst eras of wrestling.
Yes.
Yep, we're back. Now we're gonna do like the top worst years in WWE history because
It's still the rest of Finn's. We wanted to break it down in the sense of like what would be the first or the 5 worst years of defining an era. As I would definitely say it's 91 to 96. But I guess our man over here, Domo, was able to pull up from the Sportster, and they picked specific years. So we're going to break that down, and they already fucked up at 11. So,
yeah,
well, we'll say, you know.
All right, number 12 is 1986.
That would have been
WrestleMania 2.
WrestleMania 2. Yeah, that's not a... Hogan was on his fucking path of terror, so...
Yeah.
Well, do they break anything down in the sense of like when he was?
It says, well, it's tempting to just say WrestleMania 2, drop the mic and walk away. Outside of that all-time disaster of an event, 86 suffered from a lack of truly classic content. WWE was still suffering through something of a creative hangover following the overwhelming success of the original WrestleMania and found themselves struggling to recreate the magic of that time. Hulk Hogan was still doing his thing, and you could always rely on the likes of Macho Man to have a great match, but 86 was the year that WWE suffered through the growing pains the hardest.
Yeah. Well, because they're in the year of one of their successful commercial things in Mania and in WrestleMania 3. So like, if you pinpoint it, you're like, yeah, no shit, you're gonna have a shitty year.
Yeah, I know.
Because 87 would have been the Pontiac Dome, Silverdome, and yeah, no, 86 makes a lot of sense because you had, I think, who was the main event? Oh, they had fucking Mania and they had WrestleMania 2 in 3 different cities. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They had New York, LA, and Chicago. And it's all fucking broadcast at the same... I don't think it was broadcast at the same time because I can't say that we weren't alive then, but I think they had like special main events.
Yeah, and this is how I can tell this is going to be a bullshit list. Number 11 is 2001.
Let's hear them out, though, because I do want to... Yeah, let's see what they say.
Oh, 2001. How should we remember you? Are you the year that gave us some of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time, including the phenomenal WrestleMania X7?
Greatest Mania of all time.
Or are you the year that saw what could have been the greatest wrestling angle ever crash and burn before our very eyes?
It probably did that because of the last, 3 months. So,
as tempting as it is to give 2001 a pass for the good it did give us, the devastating impact of the botched WCW invasion is too great to forgive.
Really?
What should have been a dream program for WWE turned into a nightmare of bad television that just wouldn't end.
So in the sense, okay, so they picked it. They picked the one because of the invasion angle, but they had no control over the. So, like I said, WCW had guaranteed contracts. These guys that they wanted were fucking fickle fans, dude. So the fans didn't. They probably knew this, but they weren't as marky because the internet wasn't. It was around, but it wasn't as rampant as it is now. So the problem is, like, dude, they didn't want to wait a fucking year or two to do this invasion angle because you're not waiting for these guys to come in. You know what I mean? Like, Hogan didn't return until, like, February of '02. Hall, Nash. Goldberg didn't debut till '03. Rey Mysterio was '02. So it's like, these guys could just sit at home and make money. Why the fuck am I going to go? And you got to think, the two biggest names got fucking butchered right away in DDP and Booker T. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you really, like, if you want to learn and, like, watch it back, they had so hard, they had to combine ECW and WCW to make it the Alliance.
Yeah.
So that's where I get where they're coming from, but it was not warranted to make it one of the worst years. Like, I think having a good fucking 9 months warrants not, even if it's the worst 3 months of the fucking company, like, dude, 9 other months are amazing. So, yeah, I don't agree with it being on the list, but I understand why they put it on the list.
Number 10, we got 2010.
Yeah, 20. I got out of wrestling now, but then
Let's see what they had to say. WWE was already coming off of a fairly forgettable stretch of wrestling years when they limped into 2010 and did themselves few favors during this period in terms of restoring faith in the brand. While programs like Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels and CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio were top-notch, this is also the year that gave us the unfortunate title reigns of superstars like The Miz and Jack Swagger, even though potentially hot takes like the arrival of the Nexus were run into the ground this year that seemed to make everything it touched turn to dull.
Yeah, no, that was I got out of it. Like, I was here and there. That was, I think, Sheamus. No, I think he might have been on 9, but I wasn't really, like, I got out of it by then for a little bit. Like I said, that CM Punk brought me back into wrestling, but, like, it was the pipe promo, and I always knew Punk was good, but it was just more, it was just getting to a point of, like, okay, like, it's getting stale. You know, so
it also didn't help that that year John Cena starred in one of the Fred movies. I specifically remember that.
Yeah,
I wasn't a wrestling fan at the time, but I was a Nickelodeon fan. I remember watching that fucking movie. That's
I was great. Yeah.
Number 9, we got 2003.
Interesting.
After coming off the wildly successful 2002, many expected WWE to continue going strong in 2003 and embrace a new era of dominance. Of course, by new era of dominance, I do mean Triple H deciding...
Shout out Paul Levesque, baby. Come on, dude.
Deciding to essentially hold the belt at will whenever the mood struck him. Aside from Triple H's fabled reign of terror, 2003 also subjected fans to the first full calendar year of the split brand pay-per-views, and it was like incredibly uneven quality.
Yeah. SmackDown was a lot better than Raw.
Yeah. Pile on this all-muddled Bill Goldberg run and the unfortunate matches of Scott Steiner, and you've got a year that nobody will forget no matter how hard they try.
A lot of my core memories are from '03, so I think with me, like, it's not that it's a bad year per se, but I do think, like, I understand where they're coming from, just because of, like, the reign of terror.
I was just off camera. I saw like an old Prime bottle. Then I opened it, sniffed it. I was just like, I'm not drinking that. And he was like, huh?
I was like, bro,
yeah. Sorry about that.
Going gonna fucking piss. Nah, I'm trying to remember now because it's, dude, I'm getting. Well, I'm not old, but fuck. Because I always mix them up. So with 03, I'm trying to remember. 03 was WrestleMania 19. That was a good fucking WrestleMania. You had Backlash. You had you had Goldberg and The Rock. So, trying to, like, pinpoint it. Yeah, I can see where they're coming from with Triple H. He definitely was. Had some killer matches though. So, there's I get where they're coming from though. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 8 is 2013.
Yeah.
Kind of what it looked like. WWE finally got their act together by positioning guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan at the top of the card They just couldn't help but fall back to their old ways by giving us a series of tired matchups highlighted by the repeat WrestleMania main event of John Cena versus The Rock,
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
which was commonly referred to as once in a lifetime just a year before.
Yeah. It was in 29. Yeah, it was WrestleMania 29.
Yeah. 2012 and 2014 are otherwise exceptional years, but for some reason, WWE refused to pull the trigger on true change during this meandering time.
I agree. Yeah.
Number 7.
Just the way it was they would just wait. Like Punk and Bryan deserved a little more. That's all. So
WWE was like all over the place during the 2010s, from what I understand.
no, they were, but it was just more in the sense of like they would, like they said, like 2012 and 2014, 85, 87. Like you just get stuck. You get stuck in between two fucking really good years, or great years to be honest, and then you get kind of like fucked. So.
All right. Number 7 is 2006.
Ooh. Okay.
Take comfort in the fact that the only people who seemed more confused as to what exactly was going on in 2006 in the fans was the WWE creative staff. In a year where WWE was just seemingly throwing ideas against the wall, wrestling fans everywhere were treated to a seemingly infinite series of matches between the McMahon family and DX, as well as the painfully over-the-top title reign of King Booker.
That was fucking great though. Fuck.
Anyone not booked for one of several awful feuds this year were left to flounder in the meaningless programs. They were the lucky ones.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do you think so? Something I noticed about wrestling is whenever they go, so this WWE, they see like who the fans like more,
Yeah.
and they book them based on that.
They should.
Yeah, they should. And do you think that the reason why they don't do that is because a wrestler has more power than they should have behind the scenes?
No, I would say, well, not now, because I do think guys get over naturally, organically. Now, when you had the guy from, when the Janelle Grant lover, you know what I mean? But it was tough. I think Vince was very old school in the sense, like it wasn't as bad as it was in like I would say from 2019 to 22. He always had he was a little more creative, especially this year. 06 isn't to me a bad year in the sense of matches. I do kind of agree with like the storylines. They were kind of like bunched up because you had King Booker, you had Big Show. They had 3 brands at the time too. So it was harder to book when you have 3 brands. And then you were trying to establish ECW as a 3rd brand, but then you fucking put Batista and Big Show on the fucking main event. So it's like, you're not going to treat it as such, then people are going to just be fickle and they're going to just complain. Me personally, I don't think it was as bad, but yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when Bray Wyatt was like at his prime, everyone loved him, but they would never.
Bray Wyatt's fucking G, dude. No, they fucked him up just in the sense of character, because I felt like with him, like he's a guy that you book him into oblivion, but like his characters always should remain, but they just fucked it up so much that it's like no matter what he says, you're just fucking him. So
this is where I'm starting to disagree with this list.
Okay.
It said 2011 is that number 6?
2011 to number 6.
Yeah,
that was a shit mania. So that was WrestleMania 27, right?
I believe so. Yes,
that was one of the worst.
Or 28,
huh?
Or 28.
Oh, 28 was 12.
28 was 12.
12. Yeah.
All right, 27 would have been.
27 was 2011. Pipe bomb alone, it's not gonna save it. So then you had Money in the Bank. Yeah, like I could see where I'm trying to do like the good and the bad. It's like one shit mania compared to like where like the pipe bomb is. Like pipe bomb got me back into wrestling, but it was in the sense of like I was only really watching it for Punk. So then you still had Cena, you still had Triple H. So that wasn't like
Yeah. Yeah, like if some of Punk,
man, that was what to say about that year.
All right. This year just couldn't help itself, even though it contains one of the greatest moments in wrestling history, the famous Summer of Punk, and a few other highlights. It just couldn't resist finding a way to turn nearly every good thing that came its way into something awful.
Bullshit, yeah.
Of course, even if angles like Punk's weren't ruined by questionable decisions, such as the sudden appearance of Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
The fact that this was the year that gave us The Miz as a WrestleMania headliner, as well as the awful Michael Cole-Jerry Lawler feud, would have sealed its fate. No wonder Punk was so angry.
Yeah.
Because, what Punk did was he was kind of doing what Cactus Jack did at ECW. He was incorporating, like, real-life bullshit that he saw backstage and putting it in his promos. That's why he had, like, the pipe bomb promo.
And it's still fucking one of the greatest promos of all time. Oh, yeah. I fucking love that promo. Because it's just honest and ruthless and fucking real. And I think that's where, like, 2011 they were trying to be real. They were trying, but then they just cut back and do the same old bullshit. So,
And then number 5, we got 2009.
Okay.
All right. All you need to say to justify 2009's place among the worst is Raw guest host. Yes, Fred.
Yeah, that's so annoying. That got me out of it. So
this was the year in which
we
we decided that what professional wrestling was missing most was a series of minor celebrities to come out and host Monday Night Raw by cutting awkward interviews for most of the night. As if it wasn't enough, we were also treated to a hefty dose of particularly bad comedy segments involving Hornswoggle and a rather tragic series of matches between Kane and the Great Khali.
yeah.
Could this really be the year that they gave us that Undertaker's Shawn Michaels classic? Yeah, I see a photo from that night. Ken Jeong is in the photo. Like, what does Ken Jeong have to do with wrestling?
Yeah, so they were at a point to where, like, that's where, going back, they were trying to be more, like, mainstream again, so.
Yeah, that's when they tried to be kid-friendly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it was just weird. I wasn't really watching at the time, so I don't really want to, like, dog it or shit on it, so.
Yeah, all right, we got number 4. This is definitely going to be, like, one of the worst years, 2007.
Yeah, and not in the sense because of the wrestling. It's all that
other stuff.
Well, 2000. What year was 2006?
2000 was number 7.
Yeah, Eddie died. Yeah, that's why. No, Eddie died in 05. November of 05, so never mind. But 07. Yeah. You know why?
Yeah, I know.
Fucking brutal.
We all know what happened in 2007 that made... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What do you think of those conspiracy theories that Chris Benoit wasn't actually the guy who murdered his family?
I don't know, man. That still, like, blows my mind, to be honest. Just in the sense of, like, how fucking he had a 80-year-old dementia head, brain, and dude was taking chair shots like a motherfucker. So,
yeah.
And his move was the headbutt. And I'll always go to bat for him as a wrestler, but, like, after that, like, it's tough, so.
Yeah, man.
It's hard for me because I generally, like, he's one of my favorites of all time, but I can't watch half his shit because it's all gone. Or, like, they don't even, like... So many of my moments of, like, watching him and being like, I'm proud for the guy, now I have to, like, be tainted. And it sucks, but, like, it's warranted. And I think that's where, like, as, I'm really hoping... It's not, like, a Pete Rose situation because he fucking killed someone. He killed fucking 2 people. It's not like you could gamble in WWE, but, like, there's no way in hell that he's ever going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that he ever gets the recognition anymore. So at the end of the day, as a fan, it's just, you could do what you want, but you could respect him. It's like an R. Kelly thing. You got to respect him as a wrestler, but then he's a fucking shit human being. So, yes. And it's tough because I was just a fucking huge fan of him, just genuinely. He's arguably, like, one of the reasons that really got me in. Well, not him per se, but, like, just that generation. Him, Eddie, Ray, Jericho, like, they're not fucking huge by any means, you know what I mean? It made me actually fall in love with the sport. It actually gave me some level or some thought in my head, oh, fuck, I could do this. Because it's not the big dudes that make fucking us, you know what I mean? Like, dude, we're 5 foot nothing, fucking 180 180 to 130. You know what I mean? You know, we're not gonna fucking be looking at Hogan or fucking Kane and be like, oh, like, yeah, we could do this. Yeah, no, we'll be looking at the guys that look like us. So, and I think that's where with Benoit, even though he was on fucking steroids and was big as shit, he was just still a little enough guy to where it's like, oh shit, you can do it. But
Number 3, we got a 1993.
yeah, that was, I told you, it was terrible.
When Hogan had the black eye. All right. What'd you say? The Brooke guy.
Brooke had a black what?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. No, Jeff. If being a racist is the least of your problems, you know you're a piece of work.
Dude. Fuck, man.
Remember when WWE thought it would be a good idea to have a Roman-themed WrestleMania in Las Vegas? Yeah, it was some of the winning matches in WrestleMania history.
Terrible matches.
Oh, you're saying you repressed that memory? Well, then you've probably also repressed how that year in which Hulk Hogan won a Bret Hart Yokozuna match. Lex Luger was built to be the biggest star in history of WWE for about a month before being forgotten.
Yeah.
If so, that's a good thing because it also means you don't remember what is undoubtedly the worst Survivor Series card ever put together. I envy you.
Yeah, there ain't no comment. No.
We gotta do an entire bit one day just riffing on Hulk Hogan's.
Oh, fuck yeah, no, we'll do it.
Yeah, riff on Hulk Hogan's.
Oh no, we could legit like one of these episodes. We'll definitely we could break it down. We could break down his career. We could break down his and then we could just fucking shit on him. That's honest.
Oh yeah.
Would I still buy his beer? Yeah, of course. Yeah. I love beer, so it's just
just talk about the Bubba the Love Sponge scandal,
which he fucking won, dude. Like, dude, that's the one case that made me view defamation in the sense of like, even if you're a fucking shit human being, you're gonna fucking win a case like that. That's crazy. Like knowing damn well, like you fucking yeah, it fucked up your image and like this, but that made you it just put you in the limelight of just being such a fucking shit human being.
Yeah, and I'm trying, and like, why would you fuck your best friend's wife? And I mean, you can now that Bubba was not his friend.
Yeah, but now that now you know. But yeah, are we at top 2 or top 3?
We were at number 3. Now we're at number 2.
Number 2.
What?
What do they say now?
1999.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
No. I know the reason why they're gonna say it. Because I know it starts with a V.
Russo?
Well, both.
Vince Russo? Okay.
No, like Russo, you had McMahon fucking win the Rumble. Like, it's not in the sense of like moments. I get where this list is at. It's not moments he's going off how shit the booking was. Mm-hmm. And 99 had some shit books. So I could see what they're doing, but we could break it down and explain. So, what is he saying?
He's saying WWE's Attitude Era may just be the most lucrative time period in wrestling history, but it also produced its fair share of awful moments. Unfortunately, most of them happened in 1999. Mm-hmm. This was the year in which Vince Russo's Crash TV style of storytelling completely went overboard. Whether it was Vince McMahon being revealed as the greater power or Mae Young mysteriously giving birth to a human hand.
Yeah, that was bad.
A quick review of the storylines of WWE in 1999 will make you wonder just how it was and this company became so successful during that period. Then you look at what WCW was doing at the time and it sadly starts to make sense. Perhaps the biggest reasons for this year's inclusion was a tragic accident involving Owen Hart.
99?
The Over the Edge pay-per-view. A needless stunt ended a man's life for no reason.
Is it 99 or 98?
99.
He died in 99?
Yes, sir.
He died in 98.
No, he died in 99. A needless stunt ended a man's life for no reason, and the WWE still had the show going on following Hart's death. Yeah, that was bad.
To continue that was bullshit.
Yeah, when something like that happens, you have to stop the show. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, it was 99. Okay. I always thought it was 98.
Yeah, my dad was watching that pay-per-view, and Owen Hart was one of his favorites.
Fucking. Owen Hart was the shit, man. Owen Hart is one of those guys that if he was fucking, oh my God. He made a lot of the guys, like I said, I looked up to want to wrestle. So he's forever. To me, he's like the biggest what if. Because I fucking would have loved to see him. Because you got to think he missed Jericho debuted in August. Mm-hmm. He died in May.
Yeah.
Dude, he could have had Jericho. He could have had Edge. He could have had Christian. He could have had fucking Angle. He could have had Rock. Like, he fucking could have had it all, man. It was like a resurging second coming of his career. And I think that's what pisses me off.
And he had this like really stupid gimmick, like the blue whatever.
Yeah, the blue blazer.
Blue blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lame.
And the drum roll.
And drum roll. Number 1. This is a go figure. 1995.
Yeah, terrible year. Yeah, Diesel is champ. It's not because of Kevin Nash. I love Nash, but it was just a shit year because you had him versus Mabel. What the fuck, dude? Like, cartoonish bullshit. Like, I'm so happy I wasn't done.
Dude, Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, it became Kane. So it's not like,
Kane, thank the Lord.
like, what the fuck? Like, it's not like he didn't have talent. Like, it was just such cartoonic bullshit.
Yeah, all right. It's usually a challenge to come up with the number 1 entrant on these lists, but thankfully the unrivaled awfulness of 1995 stands high above any contender. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the absolute worst year that WWE has ever produced. WWE's talent pool was never more dry than during this time.
And Shawn Michaels was still a bad motherfucker.
I mean, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, even they couldn't save it.
Yeah.
And the result was such compelling programs as the rapping Mabel somehow clawing his way to the top of the card.
Yeah, that was
Fans
bullshit.
probably knew they were in for a truly awful year when Lawrence Taylor
main evented
WrestleMania, but nobody could have predicted that this would be the year that almost sent WWE into bankruptcy.
Because they put Lawrence Taylor on after fucking Shawn and Diesel.
Yeah.
For the title. And they put Lawrence Taylor at the fucking main events.
Taylor.
Like, knowing damn well, like, if they did that shit now, Lawrence Taylor would fucking open the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's where, or like a level,
Wasn't Lawrence Taylor, like, out of control?
Fuck yeah, he was out of control. You fucking made him Vader, dude. Shit, man. He's, like, fucking great.
Yeah, he was. I heard stories of, like, him showing up to practice at.
Oh, well, I hope he does, though. Yeah, dude, he just bangs fucking 3 prostitutes. He goes, yeah, no, he's wild, bro.
He was, like, wild.
But he's a great fucking defensive, he was a great linebacker, then. The greatest shit.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels was wild, too. He was, like, banging Sonny. He's,
Yeah, not even Sunny Days can fucking save 95, dude.
Yeah, no. And then Sonny got replaced by Sable, who's...
Yeah.
I mean, Sable hasn't killed anybody, but Sable is, like, a deadbeat, mom.
Aw. Yeah, but he's that good of a fucking guy. Everybody's shit on Broad for this fucking Jalen Grant bullshit, but it's a fucking farm boy, dude. He's gonna fucking... Yeah, he grew up in South Dakota and fucking lived in Minnesota. Like, what do you fucking expect? Like, no shit. He's like, grab a pussy. You're like, yeah, I know. He's 6'3", 295. What the fuck? Like, what were you expecting? Some fucking... Nah, dude.
And Sable is from, like,
I'm not saying, like, it's right. The fuck? If that dude tells... Like, if I was a woman and he's like, give me pussy, like, I'm fucking giving him pussy. Like that Rogan bit, dude. It's like, you can't fucking... No.
Yeah, and... all right, that's all I gotta say for now. Sable is a douche, but at least she's not a murderer. But all right, well, we're gonna wrap this segment up.
God damn.
When we come back, we are gonna talk about wrestling feuds that could have been easily avoided.
Or at least, like, well, top, like, not in the sense of, like, actual wrestling, but in the sense of, like, the biggest feuds in, like, the business behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
So...
All right, we're back. Now we're going to talk about the real-life wrestling feuds that spilled out into storylines. So this is by The Sportster. Also, number 10, we got The Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. No, that was good personal shit. Because I fucking love Daniel Bryan. And he's just so goddamn gifted and talented as a wrestler. And he sees this guy who, I'm not giving, like, The Miz is no slouch, but he just, he had to bust his ass for everything he got, but he just wasn't, like, the quote-unquote wrestler that Daniel Bryan was.
Yeah.
So it was just a perfect feud.
Yeah.
It could have spilled over because at the end of the day, like, personalities are so different.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but it says in Talking Smack, it says they exploded in popularity after The Miz and then retired Daniel Bryan got into a major spat on the live show.
Yeah.
And while fans were skeptical around whether their banter back and forth was part of the storylines, at one point when Miz went off Bryan after about finding a way to wrestle in bingo halls, it was clear that he was throwing under unrehearsed script below the belt. Fans were eager to see these two go at it in a squared circle, and when DB returned to action in 2018, they used much of the animosity that had unfolded on Talking Smack as a jump start to their SummerSlam program that year. The Miz and Marcy versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. The Miz is starting a lot of problems.
Nah, the business is shit though. So
As 2018 continued to roll, it would be couple versus couple at that year's Hell in a Cell, where Miz and Daniel Bryan continued their on-screen rivalry, bringing their wives into the mix.
yeah, we gotta do that shit too much now. But
There was no love lost between Brie Bella and Marcy, former friends who had major backstage
Maurice,
that was played out on Total Divas in 2018.
no, that's how you say the name, though. Maurice. Yeah, Maurice. Yeah.
I'm just gonna call him Maurice.
Jesus Christ.
During the reality television show, Maurice retold his story of waiting to be rehired for the company in 2013, where the Bellas convinced her to hold out for better contracts, and as she was waiting, they moved forward and Reese signed with the company, scoring a reality TV show in the process. The real-life heat between Bella and Maurice, along with Bryan and the Miz's disdain for each other, was a perfect combo for this mixed tag program. These are all feuds I've never heard. The Miz and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Well, it's not, man. You can skip that one.
Yeah, I'm skipping that one. Fuck, I don't want to talk about Maurice anymore. This is one I want to talk about. Ric Flair versus Mick Foley.
That show is awesome. That shit got way too personal because Rick is Rick, and we love Mick Foley. So
There was some shit that Ric Flair said that didn't make sense. Like Mick Foley is a
glorified
stuntman.
Man, yeah.
That's what wrestling is. You ever seen Matt Hardy, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian?
Flair didn't respect that type of shit. Flair went out there fucking 60 minutes. It was perfect. It was a perfect mix, to be real.
Yeah.
So
Mick Foley and Ric Flair shared years of blood that dated back to the 1990s during their days at WCW together. Foley believed that then Booker Flair held him back, something that he also wrote about in his book, Have a Nice Day, while Flair quoted as calling Mick a glorified stuntman. Fast forward some years, and thanks to the inner rumblings about the real-life feud, they were booked into a SummerSlam program in 2006. While Flair won the I Quit match that year, it is said that the two were able to mend fences and have long worked out their difference from the past. That's good.
yeah. No, Rick is that type of guy that you could definitely like, dude, he's fucking Mount Rushmore level guy. And I do believe Mick Foley is up there for different reasons, but it's just there's reasons why fans have different, like, dude, like I would never shit on, like, that's like being a rapper and saying, oh, I hate this rock band because they're not trying to be like rap. And it's like, no, like, dude, like we're two different distinct fucking types of music. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you going at me? Like, that's how I feel, because it way too different, completely different wrestlers, different styles. So, but it fucking matched well. And then they had a fucking another match in TNA when they were all fucking over 50. So brutal. Fucking Ric Flair always had to bleed, man. God damn it. Just like Moxley now. What the fuck?
Yeah, Mox was always like bleeding. I don't know why. It's like always bleeding.
Yeah, and fuck.
All right, number 6, we got Bret Hart and Vince McMahon.
Yeah. I totally do. Like, people really try to shun Bret for being a bitter old fuck, but nah, dude, I would be that bitter too. Fuck that shit.
The Montreal School Drive will forever live in infamy, and whether you believe that Bret screwed Bret or Vince screwed Bret, the truth is the lines were completely blurred between real life and storyline that fateful night in 97 when Bret lost his championship to Shawn Michaels in his home country of Cannibal.
Cannibal? What the fuck? Bret I haven't talked to him. You can't speak all day, man.
I haven't taken ashwagandha today. I can't speak.
All right, I remember about
Despite thinking he was going to win the match. Years would go by, and Hart's hate on for the WWE grew, especially after the untimely passing of his brother Owen in 1999. I would hate him too after that.
Yeah.
However, time does heal all wounds, and Hart would return to the WWE in 2010. While he buried the hatchet with Shawn Michaels, a storyline unfolded between Vince and Brett that would culminate into a WrestleMania 26 match between the two, where the entire Hart family got involved.
Yeah. That was great. Well, not really, but like from Brett, you know.
All right, number 5, we got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Great feud. I still love talking about that fucking feud. Thank God it's a past them, but the shit was so good.
In the Montreal Screwjob wasn't the start of the backstage heat between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. In many ways, the entire incident was a conclusion around years and years of disdain they had for each other. Back in the late 90s, there was a massive power struggle between Bret and Shawn when it came to climbing the top of the WWE ladder, and those two superstars were known to have personal attacks and harsh words backstage. Thankfully, all seems zen between Michaels and Hart, who placed their differences aside years ago. Yeah, it's like, I remember ICP were talking in an interview, like, they were talking about their feud with Eminem. This was like 5 years after the feud ended. And they said that still beefing with Eminem is like going to your high school reunion and still beefing with somebody.
Yeah. Well,
because like you're gonna beef with someone you haven't seen in 15 years, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Nah, they got it on live in 2010, and they've been, you know, they're just cordial. So
yeah.
And they're two of the biggest legends of all time, so shit, you know. And they're just synonymous with one another, so keep it like that, I guess.
For sure. Number 4, we got Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle.
Over some fucking, oh, God. I was watching TNA a lot during that time. That shit was amazing. Dude, like 06 to 2010, TNA was fucking great, man. Like, that shit made me fall in love with, like, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. Nah, that shit was amazing.
After Kurt and his wife separated in late 2008, where she ended up falling in love with fellow TNA wrestler Jeff Jarrett.
Shit was crazy, dude. The shit was wild.
A storyline, he was concocted in a promotion that replayed these backstage events in that squared circle. The feud lasted well over a year, and while Jeff won the girl, Angle came out on top of the program and snagged a new love of his life in the form of his current wife, Giovanna.
Yeah, she's so funny.
They're still married?
Yeah. Yes, they are married.
Yeah. All right, this was May 1st, 2020. All right. Number 3, Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. There's been a rumor that brewing for years now that Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss don't get along, stemming from their days at NXT together. They don't follow each other on social media.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
Like, I have close friends that I don't follow on social media. I don't care about that. It's just social media. Okay, whatever. Sasha has worked stiff during her NXT matches with Bliss, and to the naked eye, it seems that Banks has also taken cheap shots on Alexa during their matches together. The two enjoyed a petty, intense feud in 2017, which started in the summer and ended by the fall. Banks would defeat Bliss at the SummerSlam event that year for the Raw Women's title, only to regain the gold about a week later on Monday Night Raw. JBL and the Blue Meanie. I heard nothing but bad things about JBL.
I fucking like JBL. Dude, it's about boy. No, he is, but fuck, he's a good bully, you know?
Yeah.
No, he's, you know. No, he was, he actually took pictures with Shane and Ryan, my boys from the cruise. So
that's good.
Because he was on their flight going into Vegas, yeah. So I was like, oh shit. No, I think it was just a stiff shot that JBL gave to Beanie, and then at the end of the day, Stevie Richards got him back. So just the fucking huge, you know, not blown out of proportion, but like just a receipt. So in wrestling terms, you know, so.
All right. The scene starts.
His number 1 is amazing.
The scene starts during the One Night Stand pay-per-view 2005. WWE talent would storm the ring and attack the ECW alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And JBL took things a little too far by truly hitting the Blue Meanie. While Meanie was visibly shaking while leaving the ring and thought about pressing charges, the WWE reached out and offered him a job. They said they even gave him a no disqualification match with JBL, where he ended up the victor. It seems like all's well that ends well, and the two are on good terms as it stands now.
Yeah, nah, that show was fucking awesome though. That chair shot that Stevie Richards gave JBL was fucking one of the chair shots that, like, yo, like, this motherfucker has CT.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, so it's like, you ever watch something and you can tell that a wrestler is like, he's gonna get fucked up for that. Because, like, I remember the I Quit match that Foley had with The Rock.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, that was bad.
That was bad.
That's Noel and Dewey were there watching when they were kids.
Totally. And it's not like Nick can say, Dwayne, stop, it's me.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, that shit was brutal, dude. That was on Beyond the Mat, too. I remember that.
Yeah, Beyond the Mat. I saw that on Beyond the Mat.
That shit was crazy. That was a great fucking film, too.
Yeah, that
was nice.
All right, Matt Hardy and Edge, number 1. Good. I saw...
It was right there. Yeah.
I saw the fight that broke out. Dude, you can tell it was a genuine fight. You know why? No commentary.
Yeah.
And the security was genuinely trying to stop him.
Yeah.
You know, like, and...
it's one of those feuds that, like, just made my childhood. Because, like, I fucking loved Edge as a kid. And then, like, you see this, you're like, oh, fuck Edge. Like, that was where Edge being a heel was fucking amazing. And, like, in retrospect, it, like, kind of... They both needed this to catapult their career. Edge more so in the sense of, like, actually being a good heel. But, no, it was fucking great. Like, that steel cage match where Hardy drops a fucking leg drop on him off the steel cage was amazing. That's like a match we could look back at that feud, too. Because they had such good matches.
Oh, yeah. Feuds start... Basically, when Hardy learned about the betrayal... The shit hit the fan, and WWE ended up releasing Matt due to his behavior backstage. Dude, look, anyone would freak out. If your best friend fucks your girlfriend, of course you're gonna fucking wail on him. Like, if you fucked my girlfriend, I'd kill you. You know, like, of course, that's understandable, but the WWE universe back for Matt back, and upon his return in 05, he and Edge dove into a huge feud, which highlighted real-life drama that unfolded between them behind the scenes. Bad news is there was plenty of bad blood between them for years. The good news is all water under the bridge now. Yeah. Yeah, I would hate you for a couple years if you fucked my girl. I'm not going to pay you for the rest of my life. Like, am I going to hate you either?
And none of them are all together anymore.
Yeah,
no, it's like, that's what...
Am I going to hate you over, like, a whore dude? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Same girl they fought about ended up with CM Punk. Lita dated CM Punk.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Lita one of those girls who was like, I want to see you fight each other?
No,
thank God. That's like the worst.
No, I feel Lita's the shit, but it was just a fucked up situation. You're missing your guy, and at the end of the day, who the fuck you're traveling together. So at the end of the day, you build camaraderie, and then all that shit fucking happens. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah. But all right, y'all. I got a bunch of great ideas. Sorry, I still can't talk. But thank you for joining in on us. Next time we record, we are gonna just goof on Hulk Hogan, and we're gonna have a guest.
Oh yeah.
All right, see ya, y'all.
Hell yeah.